Can we do it?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the fourth coolest podcast.
It's not...
Coming to you!
No. It's not the fourth coolest podcast.
What is it?
It's the fourth coolest place. We could be like the fourth coolest podcast. We could also not even be in the top 600,000.
Listen, I'm allowing room for those first three spots. There are famous people out there with podcasts. I'm sure theirs is cooler than ours. But I'm still going to take the fourth spot along with being in the fourth coolest place on Earth.
Which is Ridgewood, New Jersey.
Ew! Sorry, we love New Jersey. But this is Ridgewood,
We
Queens.
do not. We do not love New Jersey.
Listen, New Jersey is one of those places in New York City you gotta pay a toll to get the fuck off of any of these islands.
That's right.
And some of them, you wanna be like, listen, don't make me pay to go there. You're far more likely to get me to pay. I'll pay double to get the hell out of here.
That's right.
Staten Island's one of those places. I love you, Staten Island. I really do. I love the show place. You know, Victory Boulevard, all that shit. Highland, whatever it is.
I'm not co-signing any of this.
But you make me pay $14 to go to Staten Island, and I don't want to pay that. I will pay $30 to get the hell out of Staten. Okay, anyway. Ridgewood, New Jersey is another one of those places. You are here in the fourth coolest place on Earth, Ridgewood, Queens.
New York.
New York
Ridgewood,
City,
Queens, New York.
New York.
New York City, by the way.
All
The
right.
city that never sleeps.
Anyway,
I am
yes.
your host,
yeah.
Mr. And I want to clarify that I've felt very detached from the people. So I'm going to introduce myself. I know last week I said my name was Matt. My name is Mark. The artist formerly known as Matt, also known as Mr. And here with my illustrious co-host, CA.
What's up?
Welcome.
What's up,
good?
babies?
In the hood being hopefully Ridgewood and hopefully not Staten Island, because
No.
fuck Staten Island.
No, I love Staten Island.
If I have to take a ferry to get to you,
It's great.
It better be an exotic country with beautiful animals.
Because we are islanders, but quite a few of us are not water people or outdoorsy. We have a lot of boaters out here, though.
Yeah, the only time I'm in the water is when I'm showering.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm far more a woods and forest gal.
Oh, okay. So you don't shower, got it.
Never. I use the river and salmon skin to exfoliate. Let me tell you something. Didn't we ended last episode with my Saturday from hell that involved animals and fires. I just want to say, New York City schools opened today, ladies and gentlemen. It was the first day of school, September 4th here.
Hooray!
I have no idea when you're going to hear this episode, but that's when we're recording this.
Did you enjoy going to school as a child?
As a small child.
Okay.
By the time I was in junior high school, I was like, yeah, so I got some other shit to do.
Right.
You know, I went and I finished, but I hated it.
Yeah.
I felt put upon by having to be in school.
Yeah, junior high is where things kind of shifted. I started dealing drugs, it was pretty...
You did not.
Those brownies, little bites.
Did you really?
Little bites, man.
Who was baking them for you?
No, little bites. You never had little bites?
Oh, you were just selling, like,
Mom
reselling
would buy the little bites.
treats.
They were a high value treat.
So you know my son was doing this in elementary school, sir.
Was he?
He was reselling the black market bulk candy in the elementary school in the 3rd grade, and I think he may have started in the 2nd. I took him to Five Below, and he found a scooper in a bag, and he was like, "Holy crap! Kids will pay $0.25 for each of these. I'm only paying a penny or a nickel, whatever it is." And the kid was like rich. And then sometime in the 3rd or 4th grade, one of the teachers was like, "Hey, listen, so you're not allowed to be swindling your classmates for money." And, give him the old wink, wink, nudge, nudge, because, hey, he's an entrepreneur.
At that point.
A New York City style entrepreneur.
He earns commission, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, we did end with your weekend from hell.
Right. So, it was Labor Day weekend, this past weekend, and we're getting ready for school, and I took a few days off from work so I could spend the last couple days at home with my beautiful son, who's starting his senior year, and he's taking a shower Sunday night, and he breaks his toe by dropping a shower door on it.
Damn.
I guess he was trying to reenact the roach killing where he throws a vacuum at the roach and he threw a door at his foot. Maybe he was trying to get out of school. Didn't work. He's at school right now. But he literally like broke it in half. Now my 5 days off are going to be spent because my poor baby, obviously. But in the end, he's 16 and he's going to be fine. And now all I'm thinking about is my 5 days off are going to be walking all the dogs by myself, bringing the kid to and from school because it's a little bit too soon to be making them take the bus. Whatever. It's just turning out to not be great. My bathroom was covered in blood and it was absolutely insane. And this one is a little bit harder to tell funny. But I'm hoping I'm getting some sympathy from the listeners because holy shit, what have we done in this house to like make these things happen? You think it's haunted? This year, my house turns 100.
Oof.
We
Ancient.
record in a 100-year-old house.
Monster house.
Yeah.
There's spirits like wandering the halls.
I think something,
I feel
made
like-
him drop the shower door.
I feel eerie every time I walk in here.
Do
I don't
you?
want to say it. I've actually been
It's not
tapping.
the dog staring at you.
I've been secretly tapping during the podcast
Why?
to communicate in Braille.
You're obsessed with Braille.
I'm calling for help every single episode.
It's the SOS. What is Braille? What is Braille for SOS?
Send help,
Send help.
please.
I'm begging.
Send help, please.
Yeah.
You ever thought about investing in a nanny or a caretaker?
How much money do you think I make?
Fair point.
Right.
Fair point.
These days, you have volunteers. Send them over.
Housing costs in New York, as discussed in one of our
In
previous,
previous
episodes.
episodes.
If you didn't watch it, it was featuring Janine Acafetta, Brooklyn Borough candidate, Republican candidate for Brooklyn Borough president. Quick little plug there. Also, if you want to buy merch,
We
tough
don't have
shit.
any.
We don't have any. But at some point.
But hey, you could, if you download the podcast, maybe you could like save a clip that you love and make it your ringtone.
Yeah.
Maybe that. I mean, I don't know how to do that, but maybe you do.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Please, and going back to our earlier conversation about high value school snacks, please email us your high value school snack.
Listen, Mark, can I say something?
You can.
We've been telling people to email us with our whatever thoughts or criticisms they may have for going on 6 episodes. There hasn't been. We got a big fat goose egg on the emails.
There's not even a fucking email account.
They don't even want to tell us we suck.
We're just plugging an email account that doesn't actually exist.
It's not even there, guys.
They just don't know
Just
it
forget
yet.
it.
There's a lot of running jokes that are only funny to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of them.
OMG. Oh, so anyway, but today I'm making, I did want to cook while I was home for these 5 days. I didn't make plans because when I take 5 days off, nobody makes any money. So it was always going to be a staycation, and I'm fine with that. But I do love to cook, so today was shrimp bisque. And I was prepping that when you arrived. And you hate shrimp.
I hate shrimp.
So that was fun, because the first thing I thought, when somebody walks in and I'm cooking, my first thought is always, oh, here, taste this. But you happen to hate shrimp, so I played out the whole convo in my head without uttering a sound.
I have the strangest relationship with seafood because I'm super sensitive to texture. A lot of seafood has wonky textures. So when I was a kid at my grandmother's funeral, RIP, my uncle gave me...
You said, why?
What?
RIP.
Oh,
Granny.
well, it's an
RIP,
abbreviation for
Granny.
rest in peace.
Yes, it's not an abbreviation. It's just 2 less syllables, so I guess that's fair.
RIP.
You're a millennial. You're going to save every ounce of energy you can.
RIP, Gran.
Love you, Nana.
So my uncle handed me calamari, and I fucking...
Well, if it was
Threw
overdone,
up.
that's not even its fault.
I fucking threw up,
Oh, man.
immediately at my grandmother's funeral.
It's not calamari's fault, though, if it wasn't well done.
It was calamari's
I mean,
fault
done
that I
well,
almost
not well
fucking
done.
crawled in the casket, too, though.
No, you did not.
I almost did.
How old were
I
you?
was 7. I
That's,
died,
I
bro.
think, old enough to know not to lay down next to the corpse.
So-
I'm sorry to talk about God rest your grandma's soul. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, she's
I'm being
sleepy.
a little...
Yeah, no, it's
Good
fine.
Lord.
Yeah, no. Good Lord.
I'm kind of
Are we
evil,
getting
I
into that?
think.
Are we getting into that
I don't
topic?
think so.
Okay.
Well, listen, we keep saying that we're not going to talk about politics,
So
but our guest today...
Welcome to our new podcast, God 101. Sushi, though. Love sushi.
Yeah.
Weird.
That is weird. But let me also say this, not to really harp on the whole generational thing,
No,
but
please
I've
do it.
never known more people with food sensitivities
I have a gluten allergy!
Until the millennial generation. So Xers were still part of these people that were like, are you hungry? Cool. That's what there is. You don't like that, I guess you'll be hungry till breakfast.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. So I'm just saying, I feel like allergies are like, in the last like 40 years, have like exploded. Everybody's allergic to fucking something. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I hear texture issues with food from you guys and younger more than ever in my life.
I can't
like,
eat tofu
ever.
either, because tofu I'm just like, oh.
Tofu, even I think is gross.
Yeah, well,
Apply
that logic to like half of the seafoods.
It's like everything. Yeah. I grew up eating fish, though. You did not grow up eating fish, correct?
I grew up being forced to eat fish.
Consume
kinda.
fish.
Fish cake, like, yes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Fish and chips, yeah, no problem.
Right.
Tuna steaks, like,
right.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Salmon, great. Flounder, nah, you lost me at that one.
That's
Sorry.
So weird. So, but a flounder is a flaky white fish.
Gross.
That's usually the easiest
flaky
one
white
to eat.
Ball of disgustingness is what it is. Yeah.
See,
It's a hill I'm gonna die on.
I've literally never met a fish I didn't love.
On the flip side of that, you have like people like
Swordfish is meh, but whatever.
eating fucking cauliflower mashed potato at Thanksgiving, which I think is sacrilegious.
Well, look, as long as you have a bowl of regular potato mashed potatoes next to the bowl of cauliflower mashed potato, then I think that's okay because I love cauliflower.
Imagine you don't.
That's not okay then.
Or like you have like a barbecue and you're in the Hampton Bays, and again, I'm speaking generally.
Mm-hmm,
you're in the Hampton Bays at a family barbecue and you order catering from the #1 Italian restaurant in the tri-state area, and you get vegetarian lasagna, but not regular lasagna.
Good God. Well, look, vegetarian lasagna is just meatless, and I grew up eating meatless lasagna. We did sometimes have it with meat, but for the most part, we just made cheese, what we call cheese lasagna.
And then you got a bolognese right next to it. That's the best part.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're totally right. I feel like people don't even know why they're avoiding certain things. They come up with every excuse. The gluten allergy. Have you been diagnosed with a gluten allergy? No, I haven't been diagnosed with gluten allergy. Oh, okay. Barkeep, I'll get 2 Coronas or 2 Modelos. Oh, I can't have that. Well, why? Oh, well, the gluten,
wheat.
It irritates my sensitivities. Your sensitivities. Oh, so you've been diagnosed with a gluten allergy? No. Then shut the fuck up, Kyle, and drink the damn beer!
That's a little bit how I feel. So, but on the flip side, because, listen, that's what we live with here in Ridgewood.
Yeah, baby.
You're hanging out in your house, and then you got like a dance party for like 3, 4, 5 seconds, and then it's gone. Now we go back. I'm very funny with food, right? So I'm very old school in this is what you get, eat it, whatever. But I am also very progressive, if you need to call it that, right? So I am a foodie, not in the trendy sense. I am a foodie in that I am aware of what we have done to our food supply in this nation. And my old school shit is where I live in the kitchen. I also don't buy into a lot of the other modern nonsense. I'm just eating real food. So that's kind of trendy right now, which makes me sound fucking modern and bougie. But really, it's just kind of like a minimalist approach. Mm-hmm. Whatever you have is what you cook.
Yep.
And I don't deal with like low-fat things or no-cal things or whatever, like preservatives and like additives. Like none of that shit works for me.
They take it out of something and it's going back into another.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
The more labels you have on a package of food, the more shit it has added and the more processing it's been through.
All the people I know who've successfully lost weight on nothing but diet soda.
Yeah. But
zero.
So here's why I'm schizo though. On the flip side of that, I see some of these younger people putting up their videos, right? Mm-hmm. About the virtues of sourdough, and they've named their sourdough starter. And then they talk about there's this weird like mushroom coffee shit out there that's supposed to be
the rise mushroom coffee?
Dude, listen,
it helps me shit.
They are making it, they're perverting what I stand for in terms of like how we should be sustaining ourselves. I believe in real whole foods and less processing, but I also I'm sorry, you're allowed to be, but I don't believe in veganism.
Sure. Oh, God.
I believe We have evolved to omnivores.
I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to come out and say it. We're tiptoeing around the point. I know you feel it too, and I know you agree with me. Vegans, you're not people. Fuck you. You don't deserve human rights.
No, stop it.
Fuck off. Eat bacon.
Okay, so Mark is obviously joking. But
Obviously.
Because
that's like 30% of people from Ridgewood now.
That is, I thought it would be more. Depends on what nook of Ridgewood you are in, but we're definitely plagued.
Put a pin in that mushroom coffee shit, by the way.
Dude.
Because I want to come back to that.
I can't. So that type of thing is overboard, though, and they kind of pervert the thing that I am trying to do, and I feel like they sort of hopped on the coattails of a movement that started out the right way and has just been twisted into this. Now now you can't afford to eat well. I used to be able to go buy a handful of loose peas and I'd have to shuck them or whatever, but it was like 25 cents a pound.
Yeah.
Now if I want something fresher, it's more expensive.
I mean, so the Rise Mushroom Coffee, like, I did,
I tasted it. I
did have the Rise Mushroom Matcha, which I thought was okay. It was decent, but I had to put a little bit of honey and, like, oat milk or whatever into it.
Tastes a little bit too dirty for you.
And I avoid
Not
dairy.
earthy, guys. It tastes like dirt.
I avoid dairy because of what it does to my stomach. I'm mildly lactose intolerant, so, it is what it is. I think a lot of people probably are. Or if they're not, they think they are, or they make it part of their identity.
Right.
But back to the Rise Mushroom coffee. Cordyceps.
What is that?
Cordyceps is a fungi, right?
Okay.
It's a genus of parasitic fungi that infects insects, often controlling their behavior to facilitate the fungus's reproduction. A phenomenon sometimes called zombie making. That's in Rise Mushroom Coffee, okay?
Zombie making, you said?
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Please.
That is an ingredient in the Rise Mushroom Coffee. If anyone played Pokemon, it's similar to the Pokemon Parasect. Or this probably is more recognizable. Video game franchise turned into a TV show, The Last of Us, where the people turn into zombies. Yeah, it's not something where, like, typically I feel like in zombie fiction, the like infected zombie bites someone and then it spreads like an infection into their body.
Right.
No. Last of Us took a different approach. There's cordyceps in products that we consume that activate in our brain, and the cordyceps fungi reproduces in our brain and turns us into a host or a zombie.
That's ingenious.
Is this a look into the future?
Oh my god.
Are we gonna, like... Is this gonna become a thing? Like, I thought zombies only existed in, like, Miami, Florida.
Listen, my man, I know we have vowed... I do not want to discuss politics.
Sure.
There's some shit going down in this fourth coolest place on earth and beyond.
Yeah, I see the Cybertrucks.
Right? It's just, you don't have to be on a political side to be concerned about certain things.
Right.
And I'm not sure why something as ridiculous as the suggestion of a fungi activating zombie-like traits in humans would make me start thinking about that and talking about that. But I think that's indicative of what we are seeing on a daily basis. I will believe any fucking thing. I'm going to believe anything you tell me. Mm-hmm. If you tell me the fungi infected that guy, I'm like, yeah, of course it did.
Oh, yeah.
Who made that shit? I'm like, okay, what's next?
If it actually happened.
Right. I'm just kind of waiting for whatever's coming next.
I grew up, like, wrestling fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not saying that I'm currently a wrestling fan, but my family grew up and Ric Flair, this is a prominent figure, he released an energy drink that had cordyceps in it. And he came under fire for this because everyone was like, I feel like people don't even realize, like, in your mushroom matcha, like, it's in there too.
It's in there.
It's just because it has, like, you put lipstick on a pig or a Band-Aid on a wound.
But what is it again
better.
now? What again is it's a fungus that what?
It literally is used to control the brains of insects.
To help...
Genus of parasitic fungi that infects insects, often controlling their behavior to facilitate the fungus's reproduction.
Okay.
So the fungus reproduces within the insect.
Not each other,
Yeah.
but the fungus needs the insect.
Yeah.
And then
it can alter the host insect's behavior.
That's fantastic.
Causing it to move to a specific location where the fungus can then grow and release spores to infect other insects.
That's great.
That's why it's seen as the zombie fungus.
That's great.
This behavioral control is famously depicted in fiction, such as The Last of Us, where the fungus turns its hosts into aggressive zombie-like creatures. It's literally in the same article.
So, is this on like the... Oh, wow. I just had the whole convo in my head by myself. I was about to say, is this a thing that needs to be on the EPA's radar, right? Or the FDA, Food and Drug Administration,
I would
right?
say so, if it's not already.
If it's not already.
But
But even if it's not, and it should be, they don't have any money anymore to add anything new
womp womp.
to their list of things to monitor
Womp womp.
or test.
Have you seen robots?
Not to be political.
Robots are coming a long way too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
They can run triathlons now.
We're gonna revisit the AI. Which robot is running a triathlon? They found C-3PO. He ran it like a princess. I could see C-3PO running.
So now they can unlock doors and chase you.
That's great.
Which is awesome.
Wait, seriously?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
joking right now.
They have hands. They have fucking hands, dude. Humanoids run a Chinese half marathon alongside humans.
You've ever heard of
The world's first humanoid robot half marathon took place in Beijing on April 13th.
Well, you said half human, half robot.
First humanoid robot half
Humanoid
marathon.
robot.
I know.
Got
Bit of
it,
a tongue
got
twister. Took place in Beijing on April 3rd. We don't fucking learn, man.
Listen, if it wasn't Beijing, it was going to be Florida.
It's probably Florida now.
Probably Florida
They're just
now.
a little slower on the uptake.
Yeah.
Yet everyone's in a fucking hurry to retire to Florida.
I don't even know what to say about that.
You got the right to bear arms. Well, so do the half humanoids.
I'm like as you all may have picked up on, I'm an avid reader of the newspaper, and
I don't know how to read, so.
honestly, for the last few months, I read the headlines, and I might read whatever bit of the article is on the front page, but most of the time, I can't even bring myself to read the rest of it. Like I can't even. I mentally cannot do it. Mentally can't do it.
Yeah. I can't even read the room. Social anxiety.
Oh, millennials.
Millennial.
I think you're born with social anxiety.
We're also born on the autism spectrum as
So
well.
I've told you my niece is also a millennial. She's a couple years older than you.
Yeah.
And she had made an appointment with a primary because she's got to get a referral for a specialist. And she had to wait like 6 weeks for this appointment. Which, mind you, she should have made this appointment like, years ago,
Well, that's
type
us.
of thing, right?
Yeah, that's us.
Exactly where I'm going with this. So she makes the appointment. It's like 6 weeks in advance. She's waiting. She winds up getting the time wrong. The appointment is for 8. She shows up for a 9 o'clock.
Nice.
She tries to get in anyway, but the doctor's too tightly booked. Probably why she had to wait 6 weeks for the appointment.
Yeah.
She comes out without seeing a doctor at all, and that was only the primary to get the referral for the specialist. So I mean,
Sure.
so now she's starting all over, and I'm just like, oh, you millennial.
No fear. No fear in her disposition.
None whatsoever, because now it's tomorrow's problem.
Yeah.
It would have been today's problem had they seen
Now
me.
it's tomorrow's problem, yeah.
Right, but now I'm going to make a new appointment so that it'll be a problem on the day of that next appointment.
Yeah. I know,
There's a very millennial trait. However, and I said this to her grandmother, my mommy, that
that's how that works, yeah.
at the same time, though, she's a very responsible adult. She pays her bills. She takes care of her pets, She cares for her mom and helps to care for her grandma. And she's a great gal. But also, she's a millennial.
Well,
She did make the appointment to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
And then she just like, oh, oops.
Oopsie.
Right. And then it just felt like a very millennial thing to do.
Yeah. I had a friend who quit smoking and was paranoid about lung cancer. Fair, right?
Fair.
3 to 4 months after quitting, made an appointment, even though saying he wanted to get his lungs checked for years because he previously had fluid that
Right.
needed to be drained.
Wow.
And his appointment was unavailable for 3 weeks, so he had to wait 3 weeks. And I remember down like a pint of Jameson talking about it at the bar, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm really concerned." And I'm like, "Kyle, may or may not be his name. Can't confirm or deny."
Huh.
The fuck are you talking about? Well, Mark, listen, it's something I'm concerned. You weren't concerned for the last 6 years. All of a sudden, you're concerned. I was like, brother, you're in a different headspace.
Right.
Just let it go for right now.
Right.
And then,
Was he able to do that?
2.5 weeks after that conversation,
What? Not seriously.
He got a new car. And then a half week after that, he made it to his appointment and everything was fine.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
He got a new car. I like how you were really playing that up, and like this is an audio program, so I'm really the only one that's benefiting from your acting skills.
Maybe that's the problem. Also, there was the furry, when we were doing the furry story last time, we were like, oh, all these pictures like describing what's happening.
Right.
So basically I alluded to the fact that Kyle died, but he didn't die.
Right, but he didn't. Your eyes got glassy too for a second. It was very good.
Yes, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I'm good at pretending like people are dead.
Yeah, oh, that's...
It's a skill of mine.
Yeah. When does that come in handy exactly? I guess getting out of something.
Getting out of stuff. Like, like if you need to like... it's funny because like... I feel like myself, well, not myself, but like my dad has a heart condition, so like, you know, he kind of danced a little bit on the cusp in purgatory for a bit. So I personally like don't ever feel like I don't ever want to like make. I've never called out of work and been like someone's dead,
right?
Or someone's like going like someone's sick. In fact, it's funny.
I don't do shit like that.
My brother's in an executive role, and when he was calling, I guess his direct supervisor saying like, "Oh, my dad's in the hospital."
Yeah.
The guy who he was speaking to laughed because he thought it was a joke because they always joke about how everyone in their line of work is always. So my brother didn't take it personally, thankfully, and there's like a little bit of self-awareness there. But yeah, it's just comical how some folks are just like,
my aunt died.
My aunt died, and it's like, okay, well, how many fucking aunts do you have? This
is
the 12th one.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, that's really kind of a school thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So I would never do it, you know.
I don't excuse the kids doing it, but that's kind of the last time in your life that you think you're going to be using a fake family death to get out of something.
Yeah.
Is when you're in school.
No.
If you're doing that when you're at work, I think maybe you need to grow up a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm really good at making it feel like people, making others believe that people are dead, but I've never like used it. Shout out Grandpa. He's still with us. No, he's not. He's actually dead.
Rip.
Yeah, rip Grandpa. And I never met him, so it's fine. It's fine, right?
But we were like this.
But he met me, and he judges me because he sees what I'm doing. He's like, "Oh yeah, doing that fucking cash pod again." It's a podcast, you drunk.
No, stop. None of that has happened. So I'm also super, super excited to invite and have our second guest ever. His name is Sean Lynch. He is a writer. He is an actor. He is a producer, a director, a stand-up comic, a voiceover artist, a musician, a vocal. I mean, I could probably keep going. It's starting to sound like you're just kind of a whore. What do you need me to dance? And I'll dance it. But I think at the moment, right now, you're directing something. Mm-hmm. Are you in it? Wait, let's talk about that really quick then.
No, it's...
what brings you to New York right now, Sean?
I've got a show opening next week in Times Square called Great Again. And
it's a sketch.
Yes, it's a sketch comedy, puppet, musical.
I'm sorry, you said Muppets?
Yeah, we got Muppets, musical numbers,
very
short
highbrow.
films. Yeah,
I'm joking.
It's very kind of Monty Python-esque, but it's just...
I know your work. I know it's going to be funny.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be good.
And what is the premise of Great Again?
It's basically just sort of a day in the life of America right before it all ends. And it's just these little snippets of everything from the White House to a Walmart to a Subway to a,
Life in these here times.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've said we're going to try not to be political no matter how gentrified Ridgewood is, and we know which way it leans. This end of Ridgewood leans the other way.
Oh.
And so we really try to avoid it. However, you kind of can't open the paper without thinking something about it. So I think we're going to try to talk about things like that without assigning blame. However, you're a guest. And whatever you want to say, I'm all for.
Well, I mean, we all know where the blame goes, so I don't really... The show really doesn't, point it too obvious. It just...
But this is what life is.
It's all about the absurdity of our current economic situation, our current international... all the stuff with Epstein. It's just...
It's a circus.
Yeah, and so the thing we kind of went for with all this... It's the game is always... trying to be normal in the most abnormal circumstances ever, you know?
Or trying to just be, frankly.
Yeah.
You know that I've been an avid newspaper reader.
Oh, yeah.
for years and years and years, and I was telling Matt I can only scan headlines, read the first part, and then I got to put it down.
Yeah,
I don't have the energy.
I had to. That's been the only tough thing about putting the show together is that for most of the year I had to watch the news from every perspective every morning because I wanted to make sure I had CNN and Fox and BBC
because that's fair.
And
that's normal. It's normal to be fair.
Also, the show does kind of poke fun a little at the left. You know, the overly far.
As it should.
You know,
well, extremes are always comical.
Yeah, we have this where an NYU freshman who was just moving into her dorm. She's trying to take a selfie of herself on her first day, and she falls out a window. But luckily, they're like, oh no, look, she bounced off her trust fund and landed in a pile of pronouns. And then it's
hooray!
And it's gonna, and I know there's gonna be some under 30s that are gonna be like, what a dick.
What a dick. Please piss off the under 30s. Go for it.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's what my age group comes to.
Listen, I thought I was helping you today, Mark, by having another testosterone body in the house. Our first guest was a female. Right. He was kind of outnumbered, but she was also of my generation, and you are also my generation. So we're going to split this guest between us.
He's poking the group I've already been poking.
I'm sorry. Well, we were
I
also
always felt like I
discussing
suffered from imposter syndrome. They make fucking mushroom coffee with the same parasite that's in The Last of Us, man.
What are your thoughts on the possibility of creating zombies through mushroom coffee?
Through our brain.
I mean, we're due.
Right.
I've been saying
that's what I felt throughout the pandemic. I was living in Hollywood when I lived through the pandemic in Hollywood, but I was on the road, and one of the stops on the road was this big theater in Beverly, Massachusetts, which is basically the next harbor town next to Salem. And I got the word from my manager, who is Jason Steinberg.
Oh yes.
And he's like, dude, this virus thing, it's real. You need to get on a plane like now, or you're not going to be able to get on a plane ever.
Right.
And then when I got back I flew back to LA, I spent the year stuck in LA. Stuck.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was it was
when you're not stuck, you feel stuck.
It was the silliest place to get stuck in LA. And
what a great word.
I lived.
Silly.
Oh, dude, it was like on the north side of Laurel Canyon. Right in the Hollywood
beautiful
Hills.
Though.
It's nice. Oh, it's nice.
So pretty.
But what was amazing was to watch the beautiful people suffer.
And
to watch
scared.
the beautiful people
to
be like, oh my god, now am I going to get a facial? Like, how am I ever going to get those imported olives that they only have at the... Yeah, it was...
I always talk to my eyebrow threadist about my problems, but now I can't see her face. What am I going to do?
Yeah,
but honestly, nobody saw resting bitch face for like 2 years. It was fantastic. If you couldn't say it with your eyes, nobody knew you were an asshole.
You just offended someone, they're going to write in and be like, they're not called a threadist, CA.
Excuse me. Please write in. We also touched upon the fact that we've gotten 0 emails since the start
what
of
they
this.
don't know is the email doesn't exist.
Right, that's
they're
true.
just writing into a void.
Right.
That's how you know. That's how you know you've made a difference, man. I did Edinburgh like 3 years ago, and I got some really negative tweets by this one woman lost her shit, and no matter how much she lost her shit, and she tagged me, tagged the Fringe, tagged the owners of the theater.
She Karen'd you online.
Yeah.
Karen troll.
And I completely psychologically Aikito'd her. That was the one thing that I realized. Like, if you can psychologically Aikido someone when they're insulting you online, the mass will protect you.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right.
They were like this.
The burn just has to be good enough. Oh. It has to be hot enough, and everybody's got your back.
It was crazy. Like, she basically, this is people who were at the show realize this. So I'm just doing, usual getting up on stage, telling some stories,
your material, yeah.
And it just so happened one of my high school girlfriends, who came out of the closet after she left the Marines.
That had nothing to do with dating.
And she and I had kind of reunited as friends because now she's a cop in Los Angeles and I was living out there. Turns out she had a girlfriend who had a summer house in Ireland. She sees on Instagram that I'm doing Edinburgh. On a whim, they just decided to take the train from Kilkenny, Ireland to Edinburgh to come see the show, and they get seats right up front.
Oh my goodness.
So I get up to the front and I'm getting ready to talk to the audience and whatnot, and then I see she and her wife basically, And it's, everything goes out the window. I'm like, oh my God, that was my high school girlfriend. She's a lesbian now, and that's her wife.
And you just like go from there. Yeah. That's amazing.
I was like, I should have known. I mean, so many of those half-hearted hand jobs I got
sophomore year. Yes.
You know your girlfriend's going to come out eventually when she starts giving you a hand job like an autistic 12-year-old who got the PS5 game he didn't want for his birthday. It's just a sort of like...
The heart's just not there.
Yeah. And so this one woman who's sitting in the audience with her autistic son was like, Sean Lynch is the most offensive human being ever. He compared a sexual experience with being autistic. And I can't believe so-and-so would allow him in this theater, and he should be banned from everything about, like, just... went on and on.
Wow, they
and
make
on
them in
and
Scotland
on.
too, huh?
And I was like,
they make them all over the world.
I was in super asshole mode. So instead of like firing back, I just went, thank you for pointing that out.
Oh, nice.
What I like to do for a living is make people laugh and bring people together. What I was trying to do is show a story about how a girl that I grew up with, who I did eventually fall in love with and got into a relationship with, turns out she came out of the closet. And we've been able to be such good friends. We didn't allow that to mess with our friendships. And she and her wife came to support me in Edinburgh. Which, how could I hate the LGBTQ if two members of the LGBTQ have come to support me? Why would I hate autistic children if I was just comparing in a metaphor? I understand that you want me to blah, 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 but I'm just trying to understand this better, and I don't understand the vitriol with which you blah, blah, blah.
So you just schooled her.
Yeah, and like as soon as I was done with that, I was like, I appreciate your input, and I'll make sure not to say that in any of my shows. I don't like to get people upset. I apologize to you and your son. Send. Boom. Well, that cleared up everything with the theater. That cleared up. But then all of a sudden, people jumped on the board like, "What's wrong with that bitch? You can't. How dare you say that? What do you hate free speech?" Blah, blah, blah. And I just thought, not devour
Thank
each
you.
other.
Yes, exactly. And you step back and watch it implode. That's great.
I almost gotta wonder if the son laughed at the joke.
Well, that was so. I wanted to ask this now. Like, I know autistic people certainly from many varied places on the spectrum.
Most comedians are somewhere on that spectrum.
100%. Well, we could. Oh my God, we could probably spend an hour undiagnosed. Okay. Anyway, let's not do that.
We're actually the rest of the episode.
That's it.
Autistic comedians.
Right. But I have to ask myself, where on the spectrum was this young man that she's bringing him to
an 18-plus comedy show.
To an adult comedy show at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So he must be somewhere in the functioning area enough to be able to understand the comedy he's saying.
It's a woman it's another woman who's made her child's handicap their hobby.
That's right.
Have you met my blind son, Roger? He's blind. Yes. I'm so brave for having him, and he's so brave for being blind.
If their kid was not unfortunately struck, they would have Munchausen's.
Yeah.
If it wasn't given to them, they would create it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love people.
I mean, I'm fairly certain your dog's autistic.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he is. You hear the way he barks, for God's sake?
See, he just walked away because he felt cold. He's about to send me an angry tweet.
You insulted him. Yeah. He's offended. I mean, he was born in 2019.
Oh,
He's
you're
the
right.
most sensitive generation yet.
We have to coddle him.
So that's great again. That's going to be a live.
It's going to be live. It's we're opening on September 11th. Thursday, September 11th.
That's not a bad day.
Times Square. Yeah. Now, if you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly. And there is a sort of a sentimental reason that I'm doing it on September 11th. So it's not so much a fuck you to MAGA as much as it's sort of a tribute. I don't even know if you know this story either. I had, back in 2001, I had this crackerjack, just amazing sketch troupe at Caroline's.
Okay.
It was like me, Eric Sims, PJ Morrison were like the writers, and then we had just a ton of great actors that were in the troupe, and we lasted for about a year and a half at Caroline's. And then on September 11th, 2 of our members died in the towers. Pete was a firefighter for his day job, and Ann worked at a company called Cantor Fitzgerald.
My brother-in-law worked there.
Yeah, man.
He luckily escaped, but not everyone did, obviously.
Yeah. They had perished in the towers, and that was kind of one of the reasons I had dropped out of comedy
for a bit.
about 7 years. Yeah,
Wow.
and then it's also the reason I made the 9/11 movie,
which I've seen.
It's you saw
Greenpoint Tavern. We talked about it when we had lunch with Carrie.
Right.
I told you, yeah.
That's right.
Greenpoint Tavern. You can find it on
Amazon Prime.
Prime.
Yeah.
Very, very artsy.
Yeah.
But really, really great.
Oh, thanks.
If you were a New Yorker around the time, I think you'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, let's brought you to New York for the last month. You've been doing something for Amazon, have you not?
I'm working on I can't really talk too much about it right now, but it's
you heard it here. You didn't hear it here, folks. First, you know nothing.
I'm working with one of my favorite directors.
No one's listening. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool.
Tell us.
It's that's a comfort.
Nine people are going to be shocked.
It's a one-woman musical about Ava Braun. It's called Kiss Me Adolf, and it takes place in a bunker. It's a musical. A natural. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank God, because I wasn't sure how to respond to this.
No.
We were going to talk after the show about what the fuck.
No, it's just it's a film project that I'm working on with one of my favorite directors, Eric Rooms, is doing this project that we're shooting in New York right now, and there's going to be, after the wrap party, which I think is this Saturday, he's going to start promoting and talking about it and whatnot. But
cool.
I'm kind of keeping mum until then.
But that's something else coming. I love that.
Yeah.
Who can they follow on Instagram so they can?
You can follow me at Geezer Lynch, GeezerLynch at Instagram.
Rockin'.
Yeah.
Geezer. Nice.
Let's talk about when you were here in New York, your time here as a stand-up.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of artists in the neighborhood in Ridgewood. They're mostly con artists, but some of them are the other kind.
Also known as unemployed.
Which Sean knows a little bit about that. Before he was a successful artist, he was an unemployed artist.
Hey, listen, I just got out of it.
There you go.
It's the reason I both love and loathe the 90s.
What was that like for you, and what would you tell a young person that, because stand-up is getting kind of trendy again, I love it.
Yeah.
What would you tell them?
Well, you have to have a vehicle to move you. I think that the biggest mistake that a lot of young stand-ups make, they do the open mics for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and then they try doing the bar shows for a wee bit, and then they try breaking in with the clubs. And they're always sort of sitting by the bar waiting for that moment, waiting to get discovered, waiting for something amazing to happen. That's not a good way to do it.
That was a 1940s thing.
Yeah.
Getting discovered.
It's like handing out headshots in Times Square. It's not going to happen.
That's what you used to do.
Not me, said the flea. But I just, eventually, when I was, I started doing stand-up when I was like a freshman at NYU. This is like back in the real early 90s. And slowly but surely, I just put this together. I was like, why don't I put together a one-man show, And so I'd done a one-man show at the Duplex my junior year, and that went all right. And then I started producing some original plays and getting those things up, and that eventually started getting a little bit of interest from industry and whatnot. In 96, I think I was 22, 23 years old. I just graduated from NYU. I got asked to do a show at Stand Up New York. And
I'm familiar.
Yeah. Just where we met.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Some producer from The Daily Show had seen me either at the Comedy Cellar or at the Comedy Village or whatever, and he said, "Hey, you want to open up the show? We're doing a showcase." And I didn't know what that meant. I thought, it could be anything. So I was like, all right. So I go to do the showcase.
Well, the right thing to do there is take the opportunity you're getting, no matter what it is, right?
Yeah. So I ended up opening up the show, and I thought, well, if it goes well, maybe the owner will let me play there again. Like, I just went in there with this completely, low stakes
expectation,
mindset. Yeah. So I went in, and I knew that whatever industry, however this worked, the industry was there to see the guys going on towards the end.
Not you necessarily.
I was just warming up. I was just fluffing the crowd.
Right.
So went up, did my set. Went back to the bar. This is like my favorite thing.
I can see it in my head.
Sitting back at the bar, there's Todd Barry and Jeff Ross and a couple other comics.
Huge people at the time, yes.
Yeah, and they were probably in their early 30s, I'm guessing, something like that. And I went and sat at the bar and, ordered a drink and, enjoying myself. And then slowly but surely, these agents kept coming out of the main room and being like, hi, Sean, my name is blah, blah, blah. I work for this agency. Here's my card. Give me a call.
Right.
Another agent comes out. Hey, here's my blah. And they seemed to like the fact that I could do a lot of voices and impressions and all that shit.
Versatile. You're versatile.
Yeah, it worked out. And then finally at the end, out comes Carrie Hoffman, our employer.
Yes, my former employer.
He comes out and he's like, "Hi, I'm Carrie Hoffman. This is my club. I'd like to talk to you about management." And I was like, "I'll manage your club, sure." I had no fucking idea.
No.
He's like, "No, yes, I'm talking about showbiz and blah blah blah." And I think what happened was Suzanne had seen a bunch of agents coming over to me at the bar and was like, "Hoffy,
go get him."
Bang.
Right, that's right.
And then after that, things changed pretty significantly. Like I started doing, commercials and small parts in films.
You were the Starburst kid.
I was the Starburst kid for about 3 years.
Yeah.
That was a life changer.
I knew it.
Yeah, you recognized him. Marky Boy there, I think, was about 4.
Yeah, I think this is a crap, but this is one of those.
But he was watching your commercial, dude.
This is a crazy thing, man. So when you're coming up and you're struggling and you're trying to, get a gig here, get a gig there, you get used to a certain level of poverty. You just get used to it.
Right.
Okay, I have enough to cover my rent, the subways, occasionally a sandwich, occasionally beer. Okay, that's my life.
You're scraping by and that's it.
And this Starburst thing was crazy, man, because it was basically, it was a 3-year contract for like, I don't even know how many commercials. It was like 10, 12, something like that. But it was also like personal appearances at shopping malls, a video game, posters, all this shit. But it turned out to be like a $300,000 contract to basically be the spokesperson for Starburst Candy.
And for a young, struggling artist,
how old were you?
25. And
that is huge.
It fucked me up right quick.
Well, he got excited.
Yeah, I got a little excited.
He had some fun.
Oh my God!
Yeah. He just had a little fun, and then I used to have to try to wake him up to get to an audition.
Yeah.
But
that's how we met.
Oh, okay.
Her job was pulling my ass out of the fire every time I was late for something.
I got you this fucking call. You better drag your ass down there or I'll kill you.
He was narcoleptic. Is what
yes, that's what it was.
All right, I got you.
That's what it was.
I was narcanoleptic. It was, imagine if they'd had Narcan back then.
Good God.
Yeah.
You may not be here.
Probably not.
Right?
Probably not.
We all had lots. But actually, I don't know if I ever told anybody, everybody's got that one liquor. Like I had one night with that one liquor, I can never look at it again. Mm-hmm. That liquor for me is sake. You know who I was with when I had that terrible night? It was Mr. Sean Lynch right here. I can still taste it coming back up all of these years later.
Oh.
I will never touch sake again.
I always thought it was such a gentle liquor.
These were sake martinis. Right. How do you make sake even stronger than what it is by itself?
Throw in some Grey Goose.
Dude.
Slice of cucumbers.
That was fucking rough.
Oh, dude.
That was a rough night.
Me and my bros always get sake bombed.
Yes!
Every weekend.
Sake bombs.
Me and the marketing team just go crazy.
Me and accounts regrettable. Yeah.
I'll be on Trent's couch if you need me, dog.
So listen, I gotta end with this.
Yeah.
Because this is such a fun fact about you.
Okay.
And it's one, I'm so jealous. Sean Lynch here is a card-carrying member of the organization for geniuses in this country called Mensa. Mensa. Listen, I know a lot of smart people.
Of a Mensa member ever.
If you all were sitting here with me, you might say, "Are you? Can I see that card?" I'm joking, of course. How in the hell does someone do they not? Is it like Ed McMahon coming to your door?
No. I was like 14.
What the hell happens?
It was there were just certain areas where I tested ridiculously.
But why were they testing you? Is it like a normal thing that all kids do?
I went to a really good private school, and
I see.
There, especially in New England, getting into like an Ivy League school is
paramount to life.
It's you've got to get or at least get into like a BU, BC, blah, blah, blah. So parents are always trying to do whatever they can to leg up their kids, whether it's other activities or if they have unusually high test scores and whatnot.
I was going to say, you can't make them a genius, though.
No,
so then they play soccer.
So, yeah. So, yeah, at one point they just had me take this test, and I thought it was going to be it really was just like 30 or so questions that were really just looking at geometric shapes and looking at various...
Standard IQ tests.
Yeah. There was nothing, it wasn't like, what's the capital of, like, Paraguay?
Knowledge is not intelligence.
Yeah.
That's two different things.
Yeah,
right.
It was just a lot of problem solving, and and I scored pretty high on that.
And so what, they send you a card?
Yeah, you get...
I really need to know how this happens.
You get a certificate.
Oh, you do get a card?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. I think my mom probably held on to both of those things till
she had it laminated. She had it gold plated. It's in a frame. It wasn't a frame.
No, she had too many kids.
Right.
You know what I mean?
She's like,
that's wonderful. I'll put it right on the picture of a rocket ship your brother drew.
Next on the fridge, right, with a magnet.
The two things are equal, obviously.
I just think that is the coolest thing ever. Lisa Kudrow is a member of Mensa.
There's a couple of comics that are members of Mensa. Other than the novelty of being a member, it wasn't.
That's enough for me.
Yeah, I mean,
somebody thinks I'm smart. That's like all I need. It's all I need in life.
There's probably
a little validation.
More comics than politicians.
For sure, man.
Some politicians should have been comics instead.
I would be willing to bet that like Patton Oswalt, Maria Bamford. I would be shocked if Mark Maron is not. I'd be shocked if. Sarah Silverman's another one. It's just like it's just
so sharp.
Sharp.
Yes, yeah. I think a lot of very brilliantly artistic people.
It's weird because it's not. Yeah, I'm horrible with math. I'm horrible with I guess history, and I guess as a writer, it's. I mean, I've been writing since. I think that was the other thing that sort of sparked the interest. Is I started writing plays and shit when I was like 14, 15 years old. Like I think that's the only thing that's ever saved my life for the past 52 years. Is just. Since I was about 12 years old, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to write this. Yeah. I'm going to go to New York. Yeah. And I'm going to do this.
You had the passion, and that's what you wanted.
And it definitely helps because, there's always those slow years,
This is honestly what I'm getting. So the last question before that was what would you tell young artists? And so what I'm getting from this is, especially now with the tools that we never had.
No.
Never had.
Yeah.
You need to just make your art.
Yeah, put together a YouTube channel, put together a website, put together a podcast.
Exactly.
Put together. I'm of the old generation. It's like let's put on a show.
That's right.
But now you can do it all out of your laptop.
Is the tape running?
But it's so important to have like a self-made vessel to get the industry to notice you.
Yes.
I say, I teach.
It's still easier now than it was then. Don't even lie.
It is.
I think it's harder to be recognized.
It is
because there's so much noise.
Yeah. I say this to my, I teach back at Salem, and one of the things that I say to my students often is like you have to grab their attention. There's a million pretty 22-year-olds out there graduating from Fuck Your Uncle University.
That's right.
And heading to the big city and trying to make it and like doing that whole...
You're such a fucking sexist. What about the guys?
Yeah, them too. Yeah. And, no, but there's like...
They're pretty in 22 also. The younger they are, the prettier they are.
Ah, boy, the stories.
The stories. Good Lord.
We might need a repeat episode.
Right? Sean's coming back next time, too. So much more to explore.
Every 12th episode.
Yeah. I'll be the Tim Conway of your...
I love that.
Amazing. I would just say, it is important. You just create. You have to create the same way... That's the funniest thing I find about the young comedians now. They're all about creating their brand. I'm like, why don't you create some content? Dude?
Right. Do you do anything
or
first?
Guys just smashed it the other night at that fucking open mic at a laundromat and fucking, in Ridgeway. It's like, come on, buddy.
Yeah.
Buddy, just work on the
Keep going. Yeah. Keep going. Back to the drawing board, young man.
Yeah. Because I love the idea that they think these agents are like, let me scroll down this site. It seems Artie Archibald of, blah, blah, smashed it at a vegan coffee shop mic on Monday.
Yes, you are in the vegan coffee shop to hone your craft.
Yeah.
That is not what the goal is, though. That's not the goal.
God, man. It's one of the things one of the only things that I say to younger comics all the time. It's like, yep, record every set. That's great. That's grand. That's fine. I never did it, but feel free. But for God's sake, if you're going to post content of yours, make sure it's the best 5 to 10 minutes you have, because these people with like 50, I see it all the time, and these are kids that I've actually helped get agents or I've helped take on the road with me or whatnot, but I'll be like, God, that set sucks. You don't want somebody, because sometimes they'll look, or they'll have an assistant look, and they'll be like, well, let's take a look at a couple of his other sets. And that set where you're getting thrown out of the pizza shop.
Yes, that's exactly what I used to do. I was the one that was going upstairs to watch the open mics and see if anybody had anything. There's one day watching a show there, and a young man came in to do a quick 5 minutes. He had brought the 10 people necessary, and he went on stage, and I giggled a bit at him, and Carrie wanted to meet him, so I brought him down to the basement, and Carrie said to me when it was all over, "What did you think of that young man?" And I said, listen, he's really funny, but he's not ready. He's going to need more time. And then 6 months later, Kevin Hart was the biggest comic on the planet.
God.
And he was not a client of Carrie Hoffman's because I said, you should pass right now. So I should have quit right then and there. I knew he was funny. But listen, he was doing nothing but the short jokes. It was like 10 full minutes of short jokes. And I was like, that's hilarious. But we need more than that.
Yeah.
Yes, it was relatable to me.
Kevin Hart had a lot of help from a lot of bad sources to get where he went. No, man. Cat Williams called him out the other day, which I thought was amazing. He was like, nobody heard of Kevin fucking Hart in the 90s, the early 2000s. He was an actor who sometimes did stand-up. And then he starts fucking around with P. Diddy and all that crew. And then all of a sudden, boom, he's America's #1. Oh, boom, he's playing the stadium. And he's the most famous person that ever famous. And America, it's like the Schumer effect, where everybody goes like, yes, that's America's favorite comic.
Yes.
Because the machine doesn't have to hide anymore. Paris Hilton started blowing up. I remember I forget who it was, but I remember turning to them being like, wow, they don't even hide the machine anymore. You can literally buy the machine.
Yes.
If you have $300,000 that you could spare, you can buy your way famous inside of 3 months.
That's right.
And what happens now, I mean, Matt Rife's a great example of that. I mean, he's a decent crowd work comedian. I never thought he was that, but he was really good looking.
I was about to say, but he's not hard to look at, so I don't really care what the fuck he's saying.
Right. Hey, listen, if you want to bang him, that's great. But I'm just saying, his comedy is not...
It's not that funny.
It's not
I know.
Sell out a stadium.
I know.
I
just didn't care.
Yeah.
I stayed on the video because I didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's kind of the temperature of comedy now. It's a very...
But honestly, of anything. Of absolutely anything.
Yeah.
Building a brand is how you get your business, I guess. Like, everything is so different. We're in no way, I think, prepared for what this turned into.
Yeah.
Maybe you were better than I am.
No, I mean, I
didn't know this shit about Kevin Hart because I don't pay attention to that. Like, I can't.
The only weird thing, I guess interesting thing about my career is that I work on both sides of the camera. Mm-hmm. So I get to see a lot of how the machine works.
Yeah.
You know, I worked at MTV for about 13 years, and sometimes that was in the capacity as a writer, sometimes as a director, sometimes as a producer. And when we would watch these actors come in, and the things we would say about these actors when they walked out, or the way that these actors or comedians were treated. Mm-hmm. And I remember just thinking, wow, they just don't give a shit. We are just cans of tomatoes. We are just
Your pickup, put down.
Yeah, and there's no it's all
the unappreciated PA.
Dude, I'd worked on various game shows and stuff like that. A lot of these game shows would hire young, really good-looking people because it's MTV. And a lot of times, because I was one of the writers for the show, they would have me vet the auditioners just to see if there's something.
Read.
Yeah, they could read. If they could pop a joke. If they
something. Yeah.
Trying to give them questions that'll prompt them to say funny
show
shit,
their personality.
And so many times I'd be like, well, Andrea is very funny. She's very clever. I think she's going to give us a good show. Simone is hot, but she's pretty dull. And Barbara it's got kind of a cool ethnic thing going on. She's pretty good. I think she'd be all right. You know, the producer would be like, all right, hire Simone because I want to bang her.
Right.
Like, you know, there's a lot of times where I was like, well, it's about the integrity of the show.
Right.
And they'd be like,
Right.
on MTV. It's not like I'm making a fortune for this film that I'm doing this summer,
Right.
but it affords me the ability to make this Trump show.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's,
what?
That's the other weird thing that I always try to like impart to as many of the younger comedians that I work with is like, you know, it is business. Mm-hmm. And you're always gonna have to make a dollar.
That's right.
And you have to sort of pick your battles. You can say like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do some designing for this advertising company so I can afford to write this Revolutionary War musical I've been trying to do. You know, I'm gonna do. You know, people are willing to wait tables for years for their dreams.
That's right.
Why not just do
the same thing? Like
do
do whatever.
the same thing in showbiz,
Right.
You know what I mean? Being an editor on a crappy game show will give you all the time and money you need to make that unbelievable
So you can
personal,
get your heart and soul out there. That's where it is.
Project.
I gotta go.
That's well, it was great talking to you. Sorry, it was so brief.
Transition. CA the Bullseye just be like, hey son, shut the fuck up.
I gotta get my kid. Jesus
All right.
Christ.
Well,
No,
Sean,
listen,
thanks
I
for
would
coming,
talk for
man.
2 more hours, but yes,
no,
thank you for coming by.
It was great talking with both of you, and I look forward to listening to more episodes.
Yeah, baby.
All right, guys.
There's one fan. You see? Follow Sean. What Sean Lynch says goes.
All right, all 8 of you signing off. Thank you once again. And
Most of them are invalids that can't
Right.
reach the laptop.
fuck, I played this by accident. Damn it.
And now I can't get it back. All right. We love you all.
Wow.
Holla Ridgewood later.
All right, we out.